So I may have done something kind of silly, and I guess we're gonna find out how I'm gonna fix it. Now, full disclosure, this is not a panic buy in the sense that I co-opted, I don't know, 20,000 rolls of toilet paper. This is a panic buy that is probably more likened to regular Americans' regular purchases. It's just that I'm not regular. My usual spending habits are that I will go to the grocery store every few days or maybe every other day and just get the stuff that I know we need for just those few days coming up. That's not what I did here. And now I'm a little overwhelmed. We ended up getting way more junk food than we usually do. A lot more bread than we usually have. And LaCroix because, you know, Midwestern. You can see our refrigerator is now stuffed to the brim with various fruits and vegetables, some cinnamon rolls, lots more meat than I ever buy, and a lot of coffee as well. But that still isn't the worst part of it, because you haven't seen the freezer, and I'm telling you, you're not gonna be very impressed. Yes, that is a wall of ice cream and vegetables. And that is a wall of butter and ice things. So here are all of the contents of the freezer, and believe it or not, there is a sink in there somewhere. So the first thing that I struggled with was trying to figure out what exactly to do with all of this food so that it doesn't go to waste. And the first thought that I had was, why don't I just cook it all, right? What else do we have to do? We're stuck in the apartment because of the coronavirus and literally not going anywhere for obviously weeks at this point. But there are other issues that go along with that, of course, and so that can't be the only strategy that I can employ. But then I saw this video.
And what do you use the computer for?
Well, for keeping household records, such as what I have in the freezer and people's telephone numbers and addresses.
And what do you use the computer for?
Well, for keeping household records, such as
what I have in the freezer,
And wondered if maybe this could provide the solution, weirdly, even though I laughed at it at the time. So now that we've emptied out the nasty bananas as well as everything else, I'm going to clean this up, and this is Method Bathroom Cleaner, but we're gonna use what we have right now, of course, and it doesn't have any bleach, so I think it's gonna be safe for whatever I throw at it. I'm of course going to rinse it out afterward as well, and then the cataloging begins. So this is the finished product. You can see we've got the vegetables on the top along with stocks and other sauces. We have the fruits on the side, some sweets there, and all of the ready-made meals and the frozen meats right here. And then on the door, you've got fish on the top, and then working our way around to all of the frozen bread. Is this still filled to the brim? Yes. Is it ideal? Of course not. But it is an improvement because at least I know exactly what's in there even if I can't see it with my own two eyes right now. And here we have the current monstrosity that is the refrigerator. Literally no organization whatsoever. And what on earth is that at the bottom underneath that pan of meat? Not to mention the door. So just like before, the process is still the same. I am going to clean all of this out, and then I am going to catalog what is inside. So now, of course, it's time to put all this stuff back in the refrigerator and get to work on cataloging it at the same time, because I'm a multitasker. And so there we have it. Everything is now cataloged, and oh my goodness, my refrigerator actually looks like I could use it again. So we have vegetables and fruit that need to be used, as well as the ready meals right back there behind. Drinks that don't fit, plus dairy and breads, all of the rest of the fruit and veg, eggs, extras, meat, more extras, drinks, more drinks, and condiments, tall condiments, short condiments, and cheese. Well, hello, it's me again, and this is the third day now where I'm going to try to chart all of the different things that are inside of my cabinets and my cupboards and my refrigerator and all of the food in the house, really, as well as the alcohol. And actually, I'm making fun of it as I go along, but I'll be real with you. I was laughing when I came up with the concept for the video, but actually, I've been sticking to it the last 3 days, and I won't lie to you, I'm feeling like I have a little more control over my life than I did before, which was probably the reason why I did this to begin with, right? So let's just see how it goes and see how long we both stick to it, because actually right now, Lawrence is even contributing to the spreadsheet and changing things as we go along too, which means that it's been pretty accurate so far. So of all of the parts of this project, the one that I hate the most and that I've been putting off the longest is this area above the refrigerator. And that's because it's just awful. There are shelves here, but they're impossible to get to without a stepladder. And I had to put an extra shelf in here because the space is just ridiculously shaped. So I'm gonna do the best I can to clean it off, but I'm hoping that the only things that go up here from now on are things that I'm not going to use for the foreseeable future. And here we have the after, and as you can see, there's no food on here whatsoever, which presents a bit of a problem for me, because it means that I have to figure out where to put all of the food in the cabinets that are already full. But I think I'm up to the challenge, so I guess that's what we'll do next. Now, my hope for this cabinet is that maybe we can fit some of that food that was on top of the refrigerator before inside here. So this cabinet is probably the only one in my entire apartment that is pretty organized to the point where I feel like I don't have to do a complete overhaul. It still has some work to do. I still need to catalog things, especially the medicines and the onions and the potatoes, but mostly things are where I want them. We've got spices on the top, baking goods right here, kind of the sweeter baking goods down here. This is just kind of random, so this one probably does need an overhaul. And then medicines, onion and garlic, potatoes, and then if we have any red wines, then they usually go down here too because it's dark inside this cabinet. One thing that I pride myself on is having just a little bit of a tea stash, and I think I'm going to combine that with the hot chocolate because then I will have a lot more room outside of the cupboard to put larger things. And so there we go. We have the spices on the top, all of the baking stuff. That is all dried fruit and vegetables. The medicine cabinet is still nothing to write home about, but at least I know exactly what's in it and where all of the things are in the boxes. All the tea and the hot chocolate. And the same as before, we have onions, we have lots of garlic, and the potatoes are behind, well, the potatoes. So I don't even know what day it is anymore, but now I'm going to do the very last part of this organization festival of my food, and then I'm going to log it all. And what we're going to concentrate on today is the closest thing that I have to a pantry in this tiny space. And that is these few cabinets right underneath my sink. I know, it's not actually a pantry, but we're gonna do the best that we can today because that is really where I keep the bulk of my dry goods and foods. And we'll just see how far along I get because it is actually pretty gross down there since I've spilt things and I haven't cleaned them up since it's a difficult space to get to. It's either now or never at this point, right? So, onward. So you can see that this first cabinet is kind of haphazard, but it has a lot of baking stuff in it and some canned goods. That is my weight that I absolutely love and I use every day, so it has to stay in this vicinity. I am a little bit embarrassed to say that I do have tubs like these ones for pretty much all of my baked goods, but I just haven't put them in there for a while. So as you can see, a lot of my baked goods are just kind of laying in boxes on this top shelf here that of course I provided myself because, well, this apartment is silly and it really needs a good cleaning too since I've clearly spilt flour on more than one occasion down here. And then we have the next cabinet, which is basically all of the cooking oils and the vinegars and even more canned goods. Once we get into the other two cabinets, then it's basically cleaning supplies and my trash can, so we're not going to worry about that today. So once upon a time, in this cabinet, there used to be shelves in here apparently, but that was definitely before we moved in and found this hole in the back wall, plus the shelves gone. And so I created my own shelving system to the best of my ability, and because of that, things fall through the cracks all the time. And I am surprised and delighted to find that there really aren't any vermin in here, given it's been probably 6 months since I cleaned it out last, but I'd really rather never allow it to get like this again. So we're gonna try and find a better system to be able to get rid of this filth once and for all, and make it a lot easier to get to the things that are inside of here. Again. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt to put all of these in the spreadsheet, and it looks like the cat's gonna help me. There he is. He's clearly gonna be such a big help right now as I put everything in the spreadsheet that's on the floor. Have it. This is about as organized as it's gonna get, but 2 weeks on, I have to say I'm really happy with the decision to make that spreadsheet because so far we've been using it and I've been really trying to keep on top of making sure that all of the food that's in the refrigerator doesn't go to waste. All you have to do is click the link down below and hopefully you'll be able to make your own copy of the spreadsheet templates and go to town on all of your food organization yourself. But let me know in the comments below what other things you'd like to see me organize in the future. In the meantime, if you like the videos that I make, then I would love for you to become a patron, where every week we meet on Zoom now to talk about crafty things. And right now we are in the middle of making our own masks by hand using historic sewing techniques. So I hope that you'll join me. If you would like to become a patron today of Old Fashioned AF, just click the link below and we will see you there on Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Central for our Zoom chats. Finally, just in case you think that Kafka has gotten the short end of the stick on this video, I would like to make sure that we leave on a positive note.